Hey everybody, what's up from Roll, Minnesota, your state of skate. Hey, I'm Butch Lehman, and today we have another episode of Skate Battle, and today we're featuring two of the biggest skating legends ever to strap up a pair of rollerblades. Alright, so in this video, we're going to take Dustin Latimer's section from Words, an absolutely iconic section of inline skating history, and he's going head-to-head with Brian Shima, another one of the legends of our sport, and that section's going to be Leading the Blind, which I think is one of the best videos out there, and Shima's section has some absolutely mind-blowing tricks in it. So anyway, I invite you to join me today as we take these two sections and pit them head-to-head and see which one reigns supreme. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments. But anyway, let's roll into it. Alright, we're going to take things back to about 2002 when Mind Games' video Words came out, and this was an absolutely iconic video. One of the best known, best represented in inline skating history. This was the follow-up to another iconic video that Mind Game had released, and that was Brain Fear Gone. And this is my personal favorite section of Dustin Latimer. I know there's all sorts of other great ones out there, but I love the creativity and some of the iconic tricks that are brought into this video part. So already we had the transfer over on the 90-degree angle rails, and using this like weird ditch spot with a ton of speed to do the tree stall. Very unusual trick, but that's what you're going to get from Dustin Latimer across the board. And this is a pretty iconic piece of this video, is skating his car. You got the fish brain that run one direction, then you'll take it back with a switch fish brain. I don't know about skating on a car. Probably not good for the insurance, but definitely entertaining to watch. And that's something that's been referenced and alluded to in skating history for years and years and years after this. I think everybody is familiar with this section, and that's part of the reason why. Setting up fakie for this one. Some quick tapping on the ledge. It's not just enough to use the trunk, but we're going to use the whole car. The Royale up and across. Looked like a foot went into the glass at some point there. This one I never really understood, but the soul grind up and then through the like windshield. I don't know. Like, how do you lock into that? It's a very unusual obstacle for sure. That is another trick that I really like, is the 360 over that. Really has the legs tucked up in order to get them over the wall. That puts in a whole new element of danger. Another one. I never understood people that could 360 really high over obstacles. I kind of understand the 180 where you can get your legs up to the side, but to bring them back around for that extra 180 and get them back underneath you, very difficult to do. Some classic ledges here. Those are the Arizona ledges. Those ones have been absolutely destroyed. Local here, Brad Magnuson, did a true topsail on it at one point. I know Chris Haffey had, I think, true Mizu on it. There's been some really big tricks that have happened there. Thread the needle over stairs. Thread the needle is a fun trick to do, and I'm pretty good at it on quarter pipes, but the idea of doing it like off of a gap doesn't make a lot of sense. I love this trick too. Just gaps right over the rail to the wall ride, coming out fakie. Perfectly smooth, buttery. And you'll see in that ledge that at the one on the right side has a gap out to it, so you got a disaster. Big topsail. I was thinking about comparing this section with Pat Lennon in leading the Blind, since Pat Lennon also brings in a lot of creative elements to his skating. Now, the cool thing about Words is there's actually two sections for each one of the riders in this video, and so you get double the content. And if you thought that first piece was great, you've got the wall hand plant flip, a trick that we've seen Chris Farmer do as well. And I think those two had a mutual appreciation and inspiration for one another. But yeah, Dustin's not done in this video. He still has a lot of creative elements still on display to showcase to us. Parking garage going up, 270 out. Really quick tucked spin on that too. I like the style. And I think that's what a lot of people know Dustin Latimer for, is his style. Just running up the chain link fence. That's another one of the reasons why I chose this video part, is you'll see a very similar trick with the Brian Shima section that we're about to watch. So once again, you get those like influences from different skaters, and I think Dustin Latimer is one of the biggest influences out there for people. Check that out, like the cess slide over into dark side topsail and then transfer over to the wall ride. Never really seen anything quite like it, and I think Dustin was the one that opened the door to a lot of the mushroom blading style of skating that's become really popular over the years, and it's increased people's boundaries on what is possible when it comes to skating. I think that's why so many people have such high regard and respect and reverence for Dustin Latimer. Just doing like the under ledge to cess slide on the stairs. Very unconventional way to use a very conventional spot, the down rail. I'll just sneak through this hole here. That extra 270 out was really cool too, coming back out forward. Chain stall. He's off the chain. He was on the chain. Now he's off the chain. Wall ride to front royale. Another clip that I absolutely love. Like, look at the visionary skating here, like being able to see all of that play out before your body takes control and executes. That one too. Really sick hand plant. I went by too fast. I'm not sure what kind of stall that was, if that was just royale or if it was like a vertical soul stall. 90-degree wall ride hand plant. I love it. This is a trick I want to do someday. I want to learn. And the way he did that one was really unusual. Usually on the hand plant flip, I've done like the Miller flips on quarter pipes before. The rotation is a little bit different, so I'm not exactly sure how he was able to bring around that last 90 degrees. I'm gonna have to study that one and see if I can take that to a park. And he really got a lot of tricks in on that spot. Cess slide wall ride. There's a video part, I think it was Ian McLeod that did like a 450 cess slide on a wall ride like that. One of my favorite tricks from Ian McLeod. Speaking of cess slides, a lot is happening in that one. I'm sure that paint, that glossy surface helped out. Kick the tree. You can see all the crumbs flaking off the tree. Yeah, I tried to do something like that once, going backwards through a little opening in a rail, and I bonked the back of my head pretty hard, so if you're going to do that, you know, you got to compact yourself smaller than you actually think. Grinding underneath the rail. I love these vertical grinds too, these vertical stalls. I've seen them done at skate parks, and I've done a few myself, but when you can take it out to a street element, I think that makes the difference. All right, shifting gears for a moment, we're going to go over to Brian Shima, another living legend of rollerblading, and this is his part in Leading the Blind, a video by 4x4. This video has a lot of speed, a lot of stunts, and I love this long fish brain grind to start things out, but we're not going to let that one overshadow another fish brain grind that we'll see in a little bit. Anyway, this is one of my favorite videos, and I love all of the stunts in this. You got the Mach 10 disaster to back royale. Even on that last gap off the soul grind, got a little bit squirrely, but in characteristic Shima fashion, he's able to maintain control in situations where just about nobody else would feel in control. A really long hold on that grind. And to put it into a line with a fakie 720, it's a really impressive line. Also, look how tall that back royale was from the ground. Putting the picnic tables to use. You also notice like the rapid fire nature of each of these clips. There's so much packed in to this video part. It's just really dense. Massive gap there. This time we're going up the rail, back royale, and he still has enough speed to just casually roll it out. I love that. Misfit. We got this into a line, and that angle, it's almost like completely perpendicular to the rail, but still able to lock on. And I don't know if you noticed, but the first grind was right foot, the second one was left foot. This was what I was talking about earlier with Dustin Latimer. I think there's some inspiration there. Running up chain link fence. Something we saw him do. Something we see Shima here do about 2 years later after Words came out. I think this video was 2004. Got another fish brain grind, this time taking it to a rail and hopping over to the back royale. A lot of speed going in at the end too, towards that wall. Ledge line. Wait, there's more. He's not done yet. Got the true topsoul, holding it. Gap over to true Mizu. And then, of course, we got to throw in a rail trick. And what rail trick to end it with in a 360 topsoul? That is consistency. Front Royale, gap up, front Royale. That little tap that he does, that fast plant 270, is just immaculate. Love that. Again, there's a reason why I chose this video. Like, check out this line. Takes that and then up into the sit-down fish brain on the really long ledge. That was a banger of a line, but can't be outdone. He's got to do the whole ledge with the fish brain. He's just getting comfortable on that. Maybe one of the longest, if not the longest, fish brain grinds done on a ledge that I've ever seen. Speaking of fish brain grinds on a ledge, let's just throw another one in there. And let's do, I think that was an outspin fish brain, which is a very difficult maneuver. Huge gap up to soul grind on the roof. And then this trick too just doesn't make any sense. That transfer over and to redirect the speed and the body positioning to ride that top soul back down. You got to respect everything that Shima's done in his career. This alley-oop top soul is also one of the longest rail alley-oop top souls I've ever seen. Definitely legendary. All right, so how do these two video parts stack up against one another? Again, you guys will have to let me know what you think down in the comments below. But when it comes to our first criteria of trick vocabulary, I got to give this one to Brian Shima simply for the amplitude of the tricks. Now, that's not to say that Dustin doesn't have an entire creative bag full of new variations that have never been seen before, but we'll credit him for that in category number 2. So category 1, I'm going to give to Shima. But category 2, style and creativity, it's off the charts for Dustin Latimer. I don't think you could ask for anything more in terms of innovation. So that one's definitely going to Dustin. Cinematography, I think, is a push for these two. They're both filmed well. You have some good B-roll shots. You have a lot of fisheye in each of these video parts. I do like the music selection and the up tempo a bit more for Brian Shima's section, but it's just so iconic for Dustin Latimer. So we're going to call that one a tie. In terms of impact and innovation, both of these skaters are absolute legends of the sport. And I think both of them are ones people look to when they're thinking about the Mount Rushmore of rollerblading. However, I think Dustin Latimer has had a more profound impact on the style of rollerblading and what's generally deemed as acceptable and stylistic. So we're going to give that one to Dustin Latimer as well. So there you have it. In my subjective response, my opinion, I'm going to give this one to Dustin Latimer. But like I said, these are two of the legends, the most iconic rollerbladers out there, and I have a lot of respect and admiration for both of them. Like I said earlier, you'll have to let me know which one of these two sections you prefer down in the comments below. And if there are other sections that you think I should pit up against one another for another skate battle, I want to know. Let me know who should be next. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I'm Butch Lehman of Roll, Minnesota, reminding you all to stay safe, stay healthy, and get out there and do some rollerblading of your own. We'll see y'all with next video. Till then, peace.